all channels tonight. Here we go. Fantastic. Howdy, howdy, everybody. So, whomever is catching me from wherever you are catching me tonight, you have stumbled upon Highly Motivated. And tonight, welcome to the show, Highly Motivated, this evening, Friday night smoke session. Friday the 13th. It's Friday the 13th. It is a lucky, magical, incredible kind of day. That's how you have to manifest it. You know, your energy creates the day. Your negative energy follows you. Your positive energy follows you. So especially on days like Friday the 13th, we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about Friday the 13th. And in honor of Friday the 13th, I'm wearing my Jason Voorhees. Oh, Flex, how you doing? Thank you, by the way, Flex, for coming to join the show. Coming to hang out a little bit tonight on our virtual digital smoke sesh, our Friday the 13th edition. I think you're at a concert tonight as well. And so anytime you're giving us, dude, you're amazing. You're awesome. If you're not following him already, you've got to follow Stoner Bro Flex, _Flex. So it's Stoner Bro _Flex. Dude's on fire. He's got fantastic energy, great positivity for the community. So he's following, he's watching right now, and I think he's at a concert. But that being said, tonight, Friday the 13th, we're coming to you on Instagram Live, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. That to me is super exciting because we get to come to you from so many different angles. Tonight, I couldn't wait. I was all revved up for this evening's show because we're talking about some great topics. Tonight, we're going to be talking about everything everything Friday the 13th, the lore, the mystery behind it. Also, we're talking about the Amendment 3. Amendment 3 is the amendment to the Florida Constitution allowing for recreational cannabis. So tonight, we're going to talk about the pros and cons about it. Dude, I appreciate you coming out tonight as well. Stoner Bro, you're awesome. So everybody who's watching from different channels, again, you can catch us on Instagram tonight. You can also catch us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. And thank you for joining us on our digital virtual smoke session. Tonight, I'm smoking on a little bit of Mount Hood Magic. It's a hybrid leaning, super sativa. But we may even talk about it later on tonight, how sativas are misread. Sativas are misunderstood. I smoke sativas in the evening to clear my mind, to be able to center my pain receptors. There's so much we need to learn. We literally need to unlearn cannabis and relearn it. So tonight, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. We're going to get high together. We're going to educate each other together here live on the show. And if we don't end up talking about anything really at all, then that's fine. That's what the show's all about. So anyways, tonight I'm wearing my Friday the 13th fit. As you see, my Jason Voorhees. There we go. Check that out. Fantastic. Feeling pretty awesome about that. I was born on a Friday the 13th. And today is my mother's birthday. She's passed away. But when she was alive, today would have been her birthday, Friday the 13th. And this year, my birthday is also on a Friday the 13th. Kind of auspicious, isn't it? Strangely auspicious in its own way. So my mom's birthday would have been today, Friday the 13th. My birthday is going to be on Friday the 13th this year as well. Very strange. Very strange. So let's talk about it a little bit. Obviously you see, I have Jason here. Jason's movies, if you haven't ever seen the horror films, which I'm sure you have, and if you haven't, I'm sure you've heard about it. But Jason Voorhees, the story around him, he's a disadvantaged youth, drowned in the lake by his mother or by somebody else. I think by his mother. Anyways, long story short, the whole thing is Jason, a pot farmer. Absolutely, he's a pot farmer. And we'll discuss that in the reboot of the Jason or the Friday the 13th classics. That's kind of when he took on the storyline of becoming a pot farmer. In the reboot, I think in 2013 or in the 2000s. Anyways, we'll go there later. Mm. So we're going to talk about Jason a little bit tonight, and we're going to talk about the origins of the Friday the 13th movies, maybe which actually come from a foreign country in a small village where they had similar circumstances happen to the Friday the 13th movie. That's what it was actually based off of. We'll talk about that. Tonight, we're going to talk about what is Friday the 13th? Where does it come from? Where's the lore started? So, as I had done my research, and I do deep research, I mean, research as deep as one can actually do. Okay, good. So, I scoured the internet for as much as I can pull in. And again, thank you everybody for joining me tonight. We have a lot to smoke together. Oh, this is delicious. I'm smoking a little Mount Hood Magic in a lovely vegetable paper roll. And this is the one I'm going to light up in just a moment. Can't smell anything. These papers are incredible. They are the best way to not taste the paper and be able to taste your weed. See, it's so hard for us to taste our weed when you're smoking it in a joint because you have to taste that paper, the burning and the way it's breaking down. But in these vegetable rolls, all you taste is paper. You taste nothing else. It doesn't taste plasticky or anything. And I actually cough more with papers than I do with these. Absolutely delicious. Really enjoying this. So moving on, we will enjoy this together. And that's, by the way, so you know, this virtual digital smoke sesh, all we do is we get together to get high together. Before I go too far into talking about Friday the 13th and all these other things right here, y'all, this is why a lot of people came. This evening, comments. If you comment on any one of the channels, except for Twitch, for some reason, I can't get a hold of people afterwards. But right here is a Hamilton devices, Hamilton Starship. This is insane. Look at this. We're going to give it away tonight. On the show this evening, we're giving this away. So if you comment on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, I will see it and I will take it into the digital. We're going to put all the names into a digital thing and it will pick randomly. And we're going to give away 2 of these. Isn't that awesome? We're going to give away 2 of the Hamilton Starships. See, I've been looking for one of these everywhere. I didn't open it. I found it at this place. I got all excited and I was on the show talking about it. I was on the show talking about it, and I was like, should I open it? Should I give it away? Should I open it? Should I give it away? Of course I'm going to give it away. I'll get myself another one, but of course I'm going to give it away. So we're giving it away tonight, Friday the 13th. Oh, I'm drooling. Excuse me. Welcome to the show. Incredible amounts of excitement here on Highly Motivated. So that's what we're talking about. Comment anywhere. I see your comment and you're in the running to win a Hamilton Devices Starship. And by the way, they're not promoting in any way. I just got this at such an amazing price. In Tampa, I was checking out the almost ready to open Goldflower cannabis location in Tampa on North Dale Mabry, right next to like 2 fitness places. Anyways, they're about to open very soon. So I was out there at that location and I was talking to different smoke shops, popping in, visiting, saying hi, promoting the new location, blah, blah, blah. I came into this one place, and from the outside, it was no big Matsia. It didn't do anything for me. It didn't call me into it. But when I got inside, it was incredible. The inside of the place was all this beautiful glass and great devices, things that I've been looking for forever. So before leaving, I was like, by the way, you wouldn't have this thing called a Starship. He goes, the Starship? I've got the Starship. So he runs me to the back of the store, pulls it out of a box of like 10 of them. I was like, oh my God, you got tons. It gave me a price that was so insane. I've never been given a price great like this in a smoke shop. Mellow Moods in Tampa. That's the name of it. Mellow Moods Smoke Shop in Tampa. If you do happen to go there, tell him the crazy guy sent you. He gives you a good deal. So such a good deal that I bought it and I'm giving it away on tonight's show. So again, this evening's show, Hamilton Starship, we're giving this away. All you've got to do is comment, say hi, say what's up, ask a question about cannabis. This Hey, how you doing? Fantastic. That's right. I'm excited for you all to be coming in. We're on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. So we're talking about Friday the 13th. Where does it start? What does it come from? What is the origins of this as we continue to manifest event? Because we are the ones putting energy towards Friday the 13th in negative ways to make it a negative day. But on Friday the 13th, many negative things have happened. Bombings and murders and different events, cyclones and weather events. But they also could have happened on any other day, not necessarily Friday the 13th. So where does it start? Let's talk about it. As I attempt to relight this one without burning my mustache, and it's happened before, so then you shave the mustache. When you see me really clean shaven, that means I've burned myself. So Friday the 13th, let's talk about it. And again, just reminding everybody, leave a comment. If you leave a comment on any one of the places you're watching me, you're in the running to win the Starship. Once again, leave a comment anywhere, and you are in the running, except for Twitch. Sorry, Twitch. I don't know why. I just can't recontact people there. So I'll be honest, it's because I can't find my login. And I know I'm going live on Twitch. I just don't know how to get there. So direct message me. Send me something and let me know, hey, I was watching, and maybe put my name into the running very quickly, and I shall do so. So we're here at a virtual digital smoke sesh talking about Friday the 13th. Also, later on, we're going to talk about Amendment 3, the pros and cons. Why do these big companies want this? Money, 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 money. And of course, indemnity from the law, so you can't sue them. You can't go after them for the shitty products some of these places might make. So, let's get back to Friday the 13th. And we'll talk about Amendment 3 in just a little bit. And again, leave a comment anywhere you are. If you leave a comment, what's fantastic is that you will be in the running for the Hamilton Starship. We're giving it away on tonight's show. Okay, here we go. Let's keep moving. So, Friday the 13th. So a lot say it started religiously through the Christian origins or Christian religion. Friday the 13th, the 13th guest at the Last Supper. Obviously very unlucky because many Christians, religions know the story. I don't know shit. I don't know anything religious, and I don't ever purport to be. So let's skip to the next. October the 13th, the Knights Templar. That was a day where there was mass executions. They were putting in jail. They were being blamed and collected together. So again, another Friday the 13th. All of these things are like, so that's October the 13th. I don't know if it was on a Friday. It could have been on a Friday. So they hold a lot of energy or status in the same certain dates and areas. You know that's true, though. Energy is held onto and it's carried over. Maybe that's one of the ways Friday the 13th has been carried over collectively. As a people, we have carried that energy through the years. So in pagan times, wait. This is very important. In pagan times, or original religion, or ancient religion, the old gods. But in pagan times, Friday is the day to honor the divine feminine and the cycles of creation. Now, tell me that's not amazing. Tell me that's not the coolest thing you've ever seen, to honor creation and the feminine, divine. And then Friday the 13th, 13 yearly moon and menstrual cycles. So we'll get back to that. I don't really know shit about shit, I'm telling you. But in that, I know Friday the 13th has always been an auspicious day. It's always been a little eerie. I've always been afraid when I was younger to approach. Yeah, that's right. You better believe you better honor the divine feminine. Absolutely. But this is a crazy thing. We have carried on the energy of Friday the 13th. Now, the other commenter that mentioned in cemeteries, in places like this, they hold on to energy. I'm not going to even try to relight this one. I'm going to put that one down. I will continue with this one. Okay, moving on. In Louisiana, when I was ghost hunting, I love to ghost hunt. That's one of the things you'll learn about Oren. I love ghost hunting. But in Louisiana, me and Ange were going around the cemeteries with tours because they wouldn't let us run around cemeteries on our own. But you could feel the energy. You could feel the let me see, one sec. Let me just, there we go. You could feel the energy that was coming in. It was insane. It held you as you walk through the cemetery. You could feel it kind of creeping up inside of you, and you can kind of feel it trying to, I don't know, trying to take over. So RSO Don has joined us on our virtual Friday the 13th smoke sesh, and a former winner of the Gravitron, which I have not gotten to him yet because I want to deliver it personally, and we were going to smoke together. And you know, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Excellent. No, 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 no. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, mute your. There you go. So, anyways, no, it's good to have you here. It's okay though. It's good to have you here. How are you, man? How you feeling? You feeling okay? Good. 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 See, this is the energy right here that we look for. When you want to get together with people, this is community. This right here is the reason we do the show. It's nothing else but then to smoke together, to hang out together, to catch up on everything going on. That's what it's all about. So I'm glad you asked to be here and come join the show because it's good to see you. It's good to have you here. And that's what it's all about. That's what we're doing right here. We're on the show together to hold each other up, to be a shoulder to lean on, to whatever it is. You know, we've got to get together as community. This is our opportunity. Friday the 13th, an auspicious day only if you let it be, only if you create it as a crazy day like that. You know, if you don't lend energy to the negative of the day, then it doesn't turn that way. It doesn't change or shape that way. So anyways, beautiful stuff happening. We're talking about Friday the 13th. I do want to quickly mention some things about what's funny. When I mentioned everything 13, you said, there you go, whatever. The 13th guest, October 13th, in pagan times, the Friday the 13th, everything when it came to 13, everything when it comes to 13. Friday the 13th movies, Jason Voorhees. There isn't a 13th movie, there's only 12. I wanted to mention that before going on to one of my next topics, which really will keep us quite entailed for quite some time. Do you want to mention, leave a comment anywhere and be in the running for the Hamilton Starship? All right, going back. Friday the 13th movies. Here's what's amazing. Not a 13th. So the first 7 were done like in Camp Crystal Lake. And then Jason, I had to write this one down because I didn't believe this is how it worked. But Jason Voorhees went to Manhattan, then went to hell, which I feel are like one and the same. See, you've got your shirt. Wait, you noticed? Look, I brought mine out of the closet as well. So, oh, kill your mic until you talk. So Manhattan, hell, outer space, suburbia, and that's where he showed up with Freddy Krueger. So you had some of the pre-rolls stuff. Flex, all right, I really quickly want to stop here. You had some of the pre-rolls. I bet they were delicious. Were they? They were tasty. I like to hear that. That makes me super happy. I judge every company by pre-rolls. I think pre-rolls are a big deal when a cannabis company represents itself on the large marketplace. So I'm glad you enjoyed those. So anyways, we're coming to you on Insta as well as the multiple different platforms. And if you just make any comment, a hello or whatever, you're in the running to win the Hamilton Starship. How are you feeling? Are you feeling any better? I've got to get you to learn how to do some sign language. Okay, good. Right. Oh, yes. All right, so you're still in a lot of pain. You're going through a lot of shit. But, well, I know I can't hear him either. But that's why I was going with the sign language. But you're in recovery right now, yes? So he's in recovery. And I'm so happy that he brought his vibe to the show. We can't hear you at anything that you're saying. But that's what I'm saying. We love that you're here. We love that you're bringing the vibe. I'm so glad that you're no, I want to hear you. And y'all, everybody who's joining, thank you again for coming, because you are what makes highly motivated everything that it is. And on the Friday smoke sessions, where we try to have a topic, where I try to see this evening, I even wrote shit down so that I can stay on topic. I even wrote things down so that I don't get too far off base. But it's hard not to go off base when you're smoking some just fire. I mean, so let you know, this is Mountain Hood Magic. This is the second joint, the much larger one. Let me just get close here and see what the see-through papers. You can see what you're smoking, and you don't taste paper. You taste the cannabis. That's a big deal. Let me get that up close over here. Look at that. Oh, that is so tasty, so delicious, organic. Look, when you're smoking organic flower, you figure your paper should be organic as well. Mm. You saw the terp ring on that? It's fantastic. No, I've got to tell you, I've been really pleased as punch with everything that I've been smoking from there. Really, Gold Flower has been on fire lately. They've come onto the market. They've been out in the market for quite some time doing delivery. Recently opening a few locations, and doing that, so many people now have access to what quality flower should have been, what we should have been smoking years ago. And so for me, that's a big deal. But right here, Mountain Hood Magic, hybrid leaning sativa. The reason I needed this one tonight more than anything, it's got crosses with Durban Poison, I believe, or it's got lineages. Okay, it's got lineages with Durban Poison. And that Cherry Rush by 34 was beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing. I need this for pain. This sativa, look, I couldn't turn my neck earlier this far. Actually, I still can't. But now it doesn't hurt. Earlier, I did that and it hurt terribly. But look, that's easier. I was even doing some Qigong earlier, where I was stretching, not successfully. I was trying to stretch unsuccessfully. So in my trying to stretch unsuccessfully, I felt I hurt myself more. And this took the pain immediately. Sativas are amazing because these things are working on your pain receptors in the body directly. Anything big in THCV, Durban Poisons, the Mount Hood Magic. Oh, it is magic. Absolutely. Mm. And then I let it go out. And I have so many toys to play with over here. I don't even know what I'm. And again, everybody, leave a comment wherever you are. The Hamilton Starship. This right here takes 3 1-gram carts at the same time. Or you could do 3 dabs at the same time. Or you could do 2 dabs in 1 cart, or 2 carts in 1 dab, whatever. You understand that you can make combinations. It's awesome. So welcome, everybody. Friday the 13th, highly motivated. We have RSO Don with us. He's here. He's here with energy and essence in the chats on Instagram in healing mode. So we have his fantastic vibe and energy. And of course, just give me the big thumbs up. Has everything been getting better on the grand scale? See, I love that. That makes me happy. That's look, I miss you, brother. We need to talk soon. Not right now. When you can talk. When you can talk, we talk. But meantime, chat, because your fingers are much faster than mine. Mm. Mm. Now I hear dogs barking in the background, and all day long they were perfectly quiet. Now that I'm on the show, of course, this is the time to bark. Why not? And everybody, thank you for joining us from all the different networks that you're joining us this evening. So I was talking about Friday the 13th. While we smoke and toke together, while we have a little waft of the aroma, even though for some it might be digital and for others it might be in person. But that's what this is. So many, I talked about we give up on a lot of things. Friendships because they're too far away, or we give up on hobbies because life gets too busy. But a smoke session is like meditation. A smoke session it's community where you really need it, how you really need it. We don't need to be so stuffy and so fake all the time. And when we smoke together, we tend to be less fake and more authentic. So, why not? And welcome to the show. This is our Friday night show. Welcome everybody for being here. I started the show rather high this evening, or rather centered, rather lifted. When I talk about being high, I'm not euphorically, oh my God, I could see elephants and monkeys, and I wish I did. That'd be pretty cool. Like I'm on safari. I'd set up a tent. But no, my pain receptors are balanced. I can move a lot easier. I can speak easier without stumbling over my words or without all the blocks that we carry with us. I kind of take those off and I can speak freely. So anyways, Friday the 13th, I just thought it was funny that the Jason Voorhees movies, Friday the 13th movies, there's not a number 13. So I don't know why. Is there a reason? Is maybe somebody a little nervous that the success of the other movies will not be replicated in number 13? Not saying Outer Space, Hell, and Manhattan did very well. I don't think those were top. I don't think those were top grossing Friday the 13th movies. But definitely, definitely, I have to say, I would like to see a 13th, a Friday the 13th, 13th, the 13th. You know, the craziest Friday the 13th of 13th is the 13th. Whatever. Let's move on. Okay, it's great. Oh, by the way, again, I was saying it earlier. Is Jason Voorhees a pot farmer? I'm going to say absolutely. After the reboot in, I want to say it was like the mid like 2013, 2000s, something like that. Um, I think when they started to remake it and they started doing the whole remake of things, that's when he kind of took on the persona. Because I think in that original movie, in number 8 or 9 or 10, they were stealing pot from Jason. It was Jason Voorhees' pot. I would love to smoke some Jason Voorhees pot. Why not? That's some Crystal Lake magic right there. Mm. I keep letting it go out. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the show. This is a great place to share our magic, share our energy, and share our passion for community, for the plants, and for this evening's Friday the 13th. So let's talk more. Let's get deep. Here we go. I'm excited. So we already talked about some of the things that Friday the 13th are. We talked about why it is. So let's move on and get to the meat and potatoes of tonight's show. Let's move on and get to the why I really wanted to talk about tonight about Amendment 3. Amendment 3. This is a big deal that's coming up here in Florida. Florida bringing in recreational cannabis. Now, I want to hear you in the comments. I want to see what you have to say about some things. I want to see, honestly, where you stand. Because I've told people, look, I'm on the fence. And when I say that, I'm not on the fence because I want corporations to make millions and millions of dollars. I'm not on the fence because I want corporate monopolies taking over the plant that I love. I'm not on the fence because I want to control supply and demand and quality. That's not why I'm on the fence. The only reason that I am on the fence on Amendment 3 is because I want the furtherment of cannabis in any way, shape, or form. As a kid, I said it would never get this far. And I'll talk about it in a bit. When the law is passed, easier minds towards cannabis now see it this way. It eases the stigma that has traveled with cannabis for so long. Yes, there's no home grow. I want to mention a few things that I want to tell you the cons right off the bat. Before I go anywhere, what are the cons of Amendment 3? And again, leave a comment anywhere that you're watching. If it's on Facebook, I think I'll see it later, but you will win a Hamilton Starship, possibly. You'll be in the running for a Hamilton Starship. Coolest damn thing that I have found on my travels lately. So we're giving that away on tonight's show. So, okay, Amendment 3. And actually, let me get a drink because I'm dying over here. Dying, I'm telling you. So delicious. I know it's bad for me. I know it's not good for me in any way, shape, or form. But absolutely delicious. Thank you, everybody, for joining me again on the live stream. I appreciate everybody joining and sharing their energy this evening in a positive, manifested, kind of enthusiastic, created kind of evening. Moving on, back to Amendment 3. I want to let you know, Amendment 3 is actually changing the Constitution. So it's a bill to change the Constitution, which in Florida, which can only be done every 7 years. Just want to get that out there. Just want you to understand. It's an amendment to change a bill, a current bill, the medical cannabis bill that is currently in effect right now. So that's what Amendment 3 is. Okay. Okay. So what are the cons? No home cultivation. I'll list them out that I believe are the cons. And then we're going to go back and talk about them. But we're going to talk about the pros as well. If there are any actual pros to going recreational. I know a lot of people are going to look at recreational cannabis. Yeah, but we get to go rec. We get to buy an ounce of weed a day or 3 ounces a day. 3 ounces of shit weed. 3 ounces of not really tested, bought from a conglomerate of growers weed. It's about quality. It's about really fine, beautiful cannabis. So, no home grow, no home cultivation, corporate interests that are writing themselves into the law so that they cannot be prosecuted for bad weed. So if they sell you shit that's bad, like it's crappy weed, and I do need to mention on Reddit and on Instagram, Fluent has been called out for its terrible growing practices. As of recently, Fluent has been called out on their growing practices. Aphids, I mean, just terrible weed that they're selling to the public or that they're extracting. This is going to be recreational weed because they're going to have to grow it in the masses. They're going to have to grow it so much that their standards are going to drop drastically. Okay, but let's keep going here. Corporate, I'm going to go back. We're going to talk about them. No home cultivation. Corporate interests are going to be monopolizing. Yes, True Leaf and Cure Leaf are the biggest sponsors and donors into the Safe and Smart into the Amendment 3. So big business is going to be taking over small business, but that's where small business needs to come together and be strong and bring a product that is so amazing that cheap weed cannot compete with quality. You can never compete with quality. That's not even in the same ballpark type of thing. I mean, True Leaf and Cure Leaf, they're like the Walmart. Here's all the things that we're offering. These are the brands that we brought to the table. There you go. And when you know that there's quality, right, exactly. Yes. Stoner Bro is absolutely right. Just, gross. Look, If you can't eat your weed, you shouldn't smoke it. This is a big thing that I try to live by. If you can't eat the weed, you can't smoke it. Because if it's gross, then imagine you're smoking it, it's going to be gross going into the body. Mm. So that right there is one of my biggest fears, is the quality and the availability goes down because the customer growth is so big. But moving on, no criminal justice reform. That means past cannabis criminal convictions will not be stricken off the record. They're still going to be going after people that have already had convictions. Social justice issue number one is the cannabis criminal convictions past is going to be the further education of the police force in helping to change, the way they see cannabis. I mean, we could talk about it like a medication. We could talk about it like a recreation. And even if you're using it recreationally, you're still using it without your own knowledge to center your mind and your endocannabinoid system. So even in your recreational use, you are medicinally easing your mind, centering your body, making smarter choices. And that is only part, that is like the hidden magic of cannabis. I mean, it is kept me young. I am 137 years old. No, wouldn't that be some shit? How old are you? I'm 137. It's done wonders for me. Mm. But thank you everybody again for joining tonight. If you leave a comment anywhere, you're in the running to win the Hamilton Starship. The algorithm in the computer will put everybody's names in. It's just going to kind of do a big thing, and we'll see who wins. But I'll tell you what, that's right there the biggest cons to passing insane. So passing Amendment 3 creates a monopoly. It's going to create chaos here in the state of Florida. It's going to affect our tourism. Look, this is something we don't even talk about. Florida is a family tourist destination. And even though I like to smoke weed, and I'm not the biggest fan of Disney, it brings thousands and thousands of jobs directly and indirectly, tens of thousands of jobs it brings. So when family vacations move somewhere else, because Florida is now known for its cannabis tourism, I know it's a childish way to bring it up, but it's the truth because we don't like to look at the truth all the time. I don't want to sit there and say, hey, we're going to lose tourism, which means losing jobs. And that means people go hungry. Rent doesn't get paid. Economies collapse because we're destroying the strongest part of its ecosystem. And that is tourism here in the state of Florida. Tourism's hot. It's a big deal. I mean, from Tampa to Orlando to Miami, it's tourism. And it's family orientated, 80%. But that other 20% is a big deal. Now, that other 20% is going to grow to like a 50-50 here. 50% cannabis tourism, 50% family tourism, until families start feeling kind of uncomfortable. And they're like, we can go vacation somewhere else. We can go somewhere that's not going to have cannabis because some family models will look at that. So then they stop traveling to Florida, not because they'll ever smell weed and not because people are going to be walking around, oh, I'm getting high, blah, blah, blah. They're not. They're not. But it's before ever booking those tickets, they will have the perception of that. And perception is everything to people. That's how they base their opinions. That's how they buy their goods. That's how they decide where they're going and what's happening. So Florida losing its family tourismness, that's a big one. No social equity licensing, no new licenses for minorities. That's like red flags to me all over the place, because instead of creating new opportunity for small business to also venture in, it's written into a bill where it's still being monopolized on. People have been mad at me because I've taken the stance of being for and saying yes to Amendment 3. And I said I'm on the fence for multiple reasons. I want the progression of cannabis. I want access to everybody, whether you have a card or not. But keep in mind, having a medical card, you skip on the regular taxes. Taxes are going to be through the roof. Don't kid yourself. Don't think like cannabis is going to be cheap. When you buy recreational, there are no deals. When you buy recreational, the price is the price. There are no specials. And the taxes, there's no deal on the taxes. The taxes could be as high as 50%. Let's say 47% taxes that they're going to charge you. Holy shit. Holy shit. With the amount of weed I smoke, do you know how much the taxes would cost? I couldn't even count the amount. Thousands a year. But in medical, I pay $75 a year to the state of Florida. And I have a medical card. Oh, excuse me. Dr. Pepper makes me burp. So with a medical card, I don't pay any taxes on my product. I had to make sure it's going to stay lit. I don't know where that came from. Oh, it stayed. Joking. It went away. So anyways, again, leave a comment. You can win the Hamilton Starship. And if, you don't want to win it, I'll keep it. But I don't want to keep it. I want to give it away. So leave a comment so I can give it away to you. So wherever you are, just even say hi. So we're talking about Amendment 3. We're talking about the pros and the cons. I said I would talk about pros. So let me mention the pros and then let me go back to the cons. I say no on Amendment 3. Let me just say that. But it's hard to say no to economic growth. It's hard to say no to broadened access. And it's hard to say no on the positive impact on the stigma that surrounds cannabis. Because keep in mind that by passing the bill, because you can't mess with it again for another 7 years. And that's a long time. I mean, we can prepare other bills in 7 years. And we still have medical cannabis. So that's a big deal. Because medical cannabis, the quality is excellent. It has to be tested. I'm not saying from everybody the quality is equal. Oh, it is not. Others surpass the standard by a golden mile. And that's the most fantastic thing, that we have competition out there that once the customer learns better, they can become a better consumer, because then they learn quality is a big deal. Quality means I don't have to smoke as much. Quality means not only do I not have to smoke as much, it's working better for my system. Instead of me smoking 3-4 joints, I smoke a joint and the medication's working. Half a joint and the medication's working. And that really comes down to how the cannabis is grown and cultivated and then dried and cured. And the cure is everything. I was reading in recent posts about the flowery. Somebody said the bud looked beautiful, but the cure, it was so wet, you couldn't keep the joint lit. And if you don't cure a product properly, remember this gold flower, Mountain Hood Magic, 30 30% on the THC, which I'm not big on big THC. It's not a big deal. But the terps were like 3 plus, 3 point something something. Just delicious. So again, remember, leave a comment wherever you are. We will see it. You will be put into the drawing, and somebody will win the Hamilton Starship tonight. Or right after the show when I do the drawing and look at all the different places from all the little different names. Okay. So right there, when I just told you, I was just giving you the benefits. Economic growth, boosting Florida's economy. I can never say no to boosting our economy because the taxes that are going to be on it are going to be astronomical. And the only people that will really be buying recreational cannabis will be tourists. Locals aren't going to buy this shit. It's going to be the people coming in. They will buy it. Locals are going to go medical because for locals, it's about price, it's about convenience. Why? You have to go recreational when you can stay medicinal. You can forego the taxes and stay with a product that's been tested multiple different ways, multiple different times by multiple different agencies. Yeah, yes. Shaken, not stirred. I don't know where the hell that came in. Anyways, so the thing is, when you are looking at medical, you are looking at something that is a tested, excellent product. At the when you know who you're buying from. Recreational. It's a recreational product. There are going to be some very good blends and very good weed and very good providers, but it's going to be very, very expensive. Don't kid yourself. If if price is not a problem for you, if you have all the money in the world to spend on weed, if you want to go spend $800, $900 ounces, shut up. Shut up. That's crazy. That's crazy. Look, oh my God. I was like, I would smoke this joint if it was an $800 or $900 ounce. I mean, if that's what this was equivalent to. So like an individual joint would be like so super expensive. So I would be sitting here smoking this joint over the next month, 2 months. I'd take a hit and be like, okay, we got to put this out. Don't even look at it. Quickly put it out. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Wouldn't that be crazy? So if you get into recreational, that's what you could be looking at. You're not going to get it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper because there's no need for the cannabis companies to be in a price war. Why? Because they're not going to have a problem selling their recreational product until people learn that it's about quality and it's about price. And it's about checking your cannabis to see what terpenes are in there, to see your total cannabinoid count. So you see a full spectrum. So is your cannabis heavy in CBG? Or is this a CBG is the beginning, the mother of all cannabinoids. And there is cannabis that can be grown that can have heavier amounts of it that don't break down as fast in the flower. Especially if you're going to burn it, then you're going to burn away anything acidic. But you still might be able to get some of that mother cannabinoid attaching onto the pain receptors directly in the body, or even directly dealing with your, forgot the word, nerve, no, eye, blah, 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 socket thingy, optical receptor. Oh my God, I went to like brain. I'm okay with it though. I used to worry when I was doing a podcast and I would be talking about something and I couldn't remember the word, the optical receptors. It would bother me so much that I would just, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then, but now, just let it go. Let it go. Don't worry about it so much. It's just a word or a couple of words. I do a couple of hand signals. You'll know what I'm talking about. I mean, like, I talk with the eyes, the things behind the eyes, the receptors and optical blah, blah, blahs. You know what I'm talking about. Boom. There you go. So I'm glad all of you have come to join me this evening. it's warmed my heart. I'm so excited, and I'm excited to give away the Hamilton Starship. That's some awesome stuff. So the pros, access. This is a big one. I do want to talk about this. This reduces the need for the illegal markets. Now, you go back 20 years ago, 10 years ago, the illegal market was not a problem. The illegal market was not the problem. The illegal market was organic, was homegrown, was cultivated by amazing legacy operators, people who have green thumbs on every appendage of their body. They might have to see a doctor about certain things if that's the case. Okay, sorry, moving right along. But 10 years ago, the weed we were buying was fire. 20 years ago, the weed we were buying was fire. And it was cultivated with love and attention and organically and hydroponically or living soil. I mean, this is where it gets super exciting. So, all that being said, let me put this thing down for a moment. There we go. And let me bring out something else for myself. Wait. Okay. Actually, I should do it with that. I'll do it with, wait, okay. There's my little cup thingy. I've learned to vape very differently. And I don't vape distillates. I only vape rosin. As you'll see inside, that right there is rosin. Single source, single press, no chemicals used to extract this, only pressure and heat. Ooh, gets me all types of excited. But this way, you taste it. This way, this is the closest to smoking flower. So where I can't smoke flower, I smoke rosin. Rosin, nothing has been added to it. No botanical terpenes, nothing. Just the cannabis that it came from. The flower was squozen. And once squozen, it was collected. And it was danced with and sang and was spun around in lovely ways. I don't know actually what they do with it at that point. I think they just clean out the particulate matter and then put it into other vessels and distill it to this. So this, boom, nothing's been added. So that's rosin. Just, I don't know why I went off into the whole rosin talk. Let me just get this going here. Let me just, I was feeling like something, fancy, bougie, something just, more than just smoke. I wanted to, ooh. Wow, this is a great way to get the aroma. I'm big on the aroma of cannabis. That's a big deal. Not just your terp, not just your flavonoid, but the aroma. This is a big hit. I'm afraid I'm going to cough a lot. I'm afraid I'm going to cough a lot, a lot, a lot. Here we go. I don't know why I drink it back like... I don't know why I drink it back like it's a drink. I mean, you just breathe it right out. But even that big, that's a huge hit. That right there is like me sucking on the vape pen straight for like that entire time you heard it going. Eh. So that's what it looks like. This is the cup that goes on. It's a really neat device, has this little thingamabobby jig on the inside, you see, and it fits on top. And it does this magical concoction of things. As you see, if I even hit the button now, boom, boom. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's going now, see? Okay. Oh, it smells good. I can't even take it to hit that fat or that long. Rosin is delicious. It really gets right into the system. It's a little heavier. So it might make you cough a little bit. But when you're coughing, you're using it as an expectorant and pushing things out of the lungs. Who am I kidding? That was a hard hit. One was catching up with the other. So, okay. Amendment 3. So reducing illegal markets. The reason I said 10 years ago the illegal markets were fine. 20 years ago the illegal markets were fine. Let's fast forward to now. The illegal markets are not fine. Cannabis is being sprayed. This is a big problem. It's being sprayed with terps, botanicals. It's being sprayed with possibly. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I do not want to call anything out or make assumptions, but I know it's being sprayed, or it's being grown in terrible conditions, unorganically. It's being treated in ways that you would never want to treat a plant, but they're doing this purely to get flavors and tastes and colors. They're doing this purely in ways to grow it quickly, to push the plant faster than it should go naturally. So, uh, I, so when you go back 10 years ago, 20 years ago, the growers then, I was growing then, and we were growing beautiful cannabis, organic. I was using alkaline alkaline antioxidant water. I was using, I went crazy with my shit. And my cannabis was beautiful. But that's what people were getting 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But now, the illegal marketplace, it's a frightening place to buy cannabis. People of my age, I say that and I'm like, okay, I'm not that old. I'm old. I'm not that old. I'm not. But in some people's eyes, they'd be like, oh, you are bloody ancient, sir. Ancient, I tell you. They don't go buy weed because it's frightening. Like if you're going to buy it illegally, it's scary, and you don't know where the hell you're getting it from. You don't know what you're going to be smoking. Somebody's going to tell you this is what you are. This is the strain. How do you fucking know that's the strain? Because you're taking somebody's opinion. I know back in the day from a friend of a friend of a friend that before you would show up to buy your cannabis, many dealers would come up with a name quickly, or something catchy and exciting or snazzy. Well, that just made you more excited to buy it, because if you got there and there was no name looking at it, it wasn't as exciting. Like you'd look at it like, all right, it's bag A or bag B, man. Which one you want? Which one's cheaper? And that's what it became about. Not about name, not about brand, which one was cheaper. But when you walk in, he's like, all right, I got some White Widow. I got some Ghost Rider. Immediately I come in and I'm like, holy shit. So fucking excited. White Widow and Ghost Rider? Fuck you. I want both. That's how it used to be. If there were names attached, if it looked good. If it looked good, you're like, oh, I'll take what you got, man. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Kate, so back in the day, just a quick blah, blah, blah back in the day of where we are. Back in the day, we called weed swag. And I used to get it in, like, if I'd get like an ounce, if I was lucky enough to be able to find that much back in the day, many moons ago, we had gone on a journey, an adventure, so to speak, to pick up shitty weed. The adventure for shitty weed. I should write a book, The Adventure for Shitty Weed. So we'd pick it up, we'd get it, and it would be like this, like it would be like that would be it. And then you peel off your weed, you break it down, and sometimes if it still had a little itsy bitsy sticky icky ick to it, you could break it down to a normal looking bud-ish. No, it was like a smushed, beaten sandwich bag weed. Yes, that's what it was. And they would you get, or I had this one guy that would weigh things with this big giant victory scale that he'd bring out in the center console of his car. The thing was huge. And I'm like, okay, just go for it, man. Go for it. Weigh it however you want to weigh it. But these days, people my age and older don't go out and buy weed because we don't know where to go. I like it the good old days. That's right. I like it delivered. I'm gonna throw that out there. That's where I used to come from. When I got happy with my weed is when my dealer brought it to me. When my homeboy brought it to me, he'd come over, we'd play some video games. We'd smoke a joint together, maybe eat a sandwich, order a pizza. Yes! See? That's how it used to be. That was the smoke sesh. And your friends, you would pick up for them, they would pick up for you. That's how it used to be. because that's cannabis being part of community, part of us working together to make the plant more accessible. So fucking accessibility with going recreational. You see the difficulty that I have in this quandary of rec, no rec, rec, no rec. I'm a man that doesn't do good with choices. To say no, no rec, good. I think that's good, no rec. Because that way we can further education. That way we can further cannabis understanding before we get to recreational, which will definitely happen the next time around, or will be legalized by the United States in no time at all. But I want to stay medical only because I want more time to reach people, to teach you about making tea right, about eating raw cannabis, about smoking damn good cannabis. I mean, good sticky icky bud. That's what it's about. And doing it with friends and family, doing it to reduce your arthritis, your fibromyalgia, your neuropathy. Yeah, I got a lot of shit going on, but I don't. Especially after smoking that Mountain Hood Magic, I feel fantastic. Obviously, which is good, because on a podcast, you need to talk a lot. So I'm really glad that the sativa side of it kicked in a good way. I mean, some sativas don't work well with me, but I love sativas as a main pick. And I want to mention sativas don't necessarily always bring you up. Sativas are a tall, skinny plant. That's it. And indicas are a short, stubby, lovely plant. That's the differences between the two plants, by the way. Not indica in the couch and sativa euphorically in the sky, full of energy. It's not like these two plants are like, hey, I'm gonna have a lot of energy, man. Hey, I'm not. I'm just gonna be chill. It's gonna be because I'm low to the ground, and I really don't think that's how the plants talk to each other. And oh my God, the little scale, dude, you had to pinch it to the thing, and you'd hold. Man, that was the best. That was like the most accurate. I'm just gonna tell you, the most accurate on the go. So you can't see it because you're not on Instagram. But if you are, then you can. But if you aren't, Stoner Bro Flex is talking about the little scale you used to have to hold up and pinch to your baggie, and then weigh it just right, right? You get it just right, and that would accurately tell you, if you were what the weight of the bag was. Like you'd weigh the bag first, but the bag weighed like nothing. You don't count the bag. You count the weight, unless it was like a super heavy bag. Then of course, obviously, weigh the bag first, and then you take that amount off when at the end. Yeah, I miss the old days of weed, but I don't, because we can recreate those old days of weed. Did I see somebody say Panama Red? Look at that, how excited I got over here. Look, Colombian Gold, Panama Red, oh, any Thai stick. Look, and that's cultivated and cured on the stick. Oh, there's a Swazi Safari, Tusk. There's a few others that are so hard to find. Cannabis becomes about the adventure. It becomes about the journey of finding some of these strains. That's pretty exciting. I see Panama Red and I'm like, wow, I've got to find that again. The only time I really ever got Colombian Gold back in the day, it was in a little yellow envelope with a little latch on it. Um, and so my homeboy, he was like, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna get the Colombian Gold, man. We're gonna get it. I'm gonna bring it to the party. I'm like, you bring it. You bring it to the party. And the whole party, that's all anybody ever talked about. I mean, somebody smoked like a pinner that tasted like pencil shavings. I remember this outside. It was cold. People were peeing their name in the snow, which we had frost and snow, which was a rarity in Texas, in Sugar Land, Texas. A rarity. But people were peeing their names in the snow. It was amazing. And we're waiting for this dude to show up. And I remember sitting at the table, this big round table in my back, and I had one theater group on one side, I had a football team on this side, and then another school conglomeration of people. It was just so many people. And then homeboy is like, he's here, yo, he's here. I'm like, bring him in. Tell him to get in here. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't as raspy as I am now. If it was like I am now, it's like I'm the Godfather. Like, hey, have him come in, have him, have him sit down. We'll talk. But no, I mean, I was a kid. I was like, maybe I was more like, okay, hey, why don't you tell him to come to the table? It's probably how it went. Um, but I remember, and everybody's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, do we have papers? Anybody have papers? Do we have papers to roll this? Anybody have a bowl? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna use? It's like we're so unprepared all of a sudden. Everybody's like, no, we got it. It's like boom, boom. There's so many different options. It's like, wow, for so many people that don't have weed, there's an incredible amount of options that we now have to smoke it. And how long ago was this? 1993, 92, 1992 or 1993, around that time. Um, I know, it's a long time ago. Shut up. So, anyways, homeboy shows up, and I'm trying to remember his name for like Robert. Oh, I think it's like Robert. I'm calling him out now. It's like, dude, I've been watching this. I've denied this my entire life, but yes, you've called me out. You're right. I can't deny it any longer. Ricardo. Maybe it was Ricardo. Ricky. I think it was Ricky got us. No, shh. So he shows up and he comes to the table and he opens up this little yellow manila envelope. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I mean, this is what he says it is. I'm like, let's just open it. And everybody's like, it's silent. The entire room has come. It's like, shh. And everybody is filled with this insane amount of joy. He opens up the bag and then he taps it and pours it out. And it's broken down, it's broken up, and it's brown and yellow and reddish. At first appearance did not look very good. And we're talking about Colombian gold back in 1992. He didn't bring the whole bud. Because I remember seeing pictures of Colombian gold, and it looked like shit. I mean, it didn't look great. It looked brown, but it was buds. It was healthy, beautiful buds that were kind of like golden and red with this beautiful sheen about them. And this, what he put on the table was this ground down looking, I don't know what it was, but we are pretty sure it was Colombian gold. So it was enough to like roll two joints. And that's what we did. We rolled two joints, pinners, very, very pinner joints, which were passed around the entire table, which this became the party. And it was pretty early in the morning at this point because we were waiting for this guy to show up. And the party had gone all night. And everybody's kind of still there. Everybody wanted to be part of the ritual. Everybody wanted to be part of that energy, that vibe, because that way they can all take that story on in infamy and they will tell it in their own ways. They will tell it in different places and it will be told slightly different, slightly the same, but the outcome was always the same. That everybody got together as community. Everybody got together as friends. The jocks and the theater people, the preps and the skaters and the headbangers, they were all there. And we were all getting high together on these pinners of Colombian gold that we'd keep passing around. And I have to tell you, I was so high. I don't remember a time in a group I've been that high. And I'm going to tell you this, and I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but the energy that, it's bad. The energy that I shared with all those people that day right there, waiting for it to show up, the rolling of it, the excitement, the anticipation, the buildup. I felt it. I felt it like I was sucking it in or something. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And I remembered almost everything that I could individually about people at that party, who was sitting in the windowsill to my right. And this way, so I wouldn't forget the energy of it. I may forget the faces because I can't remember all the faces, but I remember the energy of those people sitting around me. And to this day, when I really think about that party, I'm smoking a joint, just thinking back. I'm like, oh, I remember that party. That was a crazy party. That was a great time. Nobody died. Nobody got hurt. Nobody shot anything off. And right. Everybody I remember was so high, like incredibly high, beautifully euphoric. And it's not something you get in a lot of the weed today. And that's another big deal. I just want to take another quick oh, it's not doing it. Why is it not doing it? One sec, might be clogged. I've been using it quite often today. Let's just do another quickie here. So it's about really good weed. And back in the day, you're right, we would grow some beautiful stuff because you're right, it's sun grown. It was grown from Mother Earth, living soil. It was absolutely beautiful. And by the way, just want to remind everybody, comment for your chance to win the Hamilton Starship. When you comment, get into it, put your name, say howdy, hello, that you're here. And you'll be in the running to win the Hamilton Starship. Okay, so weed back then, Colombian gold, when it got you high, it's because of the way it was grown. It's because of the way it was put together. And the more you smoked, the higher you would get. Absolutely. And in that setting, the energy of everything that was happening, it imprinted upon me as community, as good people all coming together of all different kind of cliques. And that's when I realized right there that cannabis was the greatest clique because it was everybody all together. My whole life, I thought it was about the individual cliques and how cool you had to be for this one and how cool you had to be for that one. Fuck them all. We're all the same under the leaf. We're all the same. It's not about impressing anybody but yourself and your endocannabinoid system. And when you are right, people feel that and see that. When you are feeling good, they are feeling good. You're pushing out good energy around you and good frequency. Cannabis helped me realize that it wasn't about being a stoner or being a headbanger or being a prep or a jock or a comedian in the class or whatever fucking things that you want to create, that you want to be in whatever group that you think you can be. Who cares about those? It's not about it. It's about all of them. You be all of it. You be a jock. You be a theater nerd. You be a computer geek. I, just so you know, am a computer genius. Just want to let you know that. I mean, if you're on LinkedIn, go check my credentials. I'm a badass. But I'm also an actor, theater nerd. I love to act and I love to be in presentations, and I haven't done it in a long time. I'm a comedian. I wouldn't say I'm a jock. I'm I mean, I can run from here to the mailbox and, well, halfway. The mailbox is far away. So I can run from here to halfway to where the mailbox actually is. Look, I had to take a deep breath just now. Air's heavy as I'm thinking about running. The jock, no. A preppy individual, I don't know. I'm yes and no. I'm all of those things. I am all of you. You are all of me. All of you are. When we smoke together, we remove the mask. When we smoke together, we take off the Jason Voorhees mask, but we remove the mask. We remove the bricks that we're carrying on top of us and the bags that were the piles of shit that we drag along. We drop those and we smoke together. We smoke and we laugh at each other. We smoke and we learn. It's more than just cannabis. It's the people. It's more than just cannabis. It's the healing. It's the superfood. It's I can build and make and create and become. It's cannabis. But it is. That's the magic of unlearning and relearning something that can help you holistically, mentally, physically. It's genius. So, what was I doing? It doesn't matter. Oh, it's going once again. But is there a button? It's gotten dark in here. Don't waste it. Okay. By the way, this is a good time to tell you, you don't have to hold in any of the smoke. As you inhale, exhale. As you're inhaling, you're already, oh my God, it's a hot cart. That's a hot cart. That cart's been through some things, let me tell you something. But if you inhale, exhale. The longer you hold it in, you're making yourself cough. You're creating more smoke, more carcinogen, more time for things to be sitting in your body. The second you inhale it, you're already absorbed it into your bronchial and into your bloodstream. Everything that you require to get high has already been absorbed. So inhale, exhale. That's it. You won't get any higher. The only thing you're doing is holding your breath and creating the blood brain, you're depriving your brain of oxygen. So you're going to get high by not breathing. I mean, you're asphyxiation. Again, if you're just joining or if you're going to be joining later and watching and you see me going just come back and forth, Instagram is over here, and then Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch over here. See, boom, 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 boom. Okay. And tonight you're joining me on the Friday Smoke Sesh, highly motivated, Friday the 13th edition. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to start tonight's show because we were talking a little bit about Jason Voorhees and the Friday the 13th, series of movies, which I have to say, my favorite would be your original seven. The original seven, or the first seven. I love the originality of storytelling and head chopping offovage and limb losingage. And the equal ratio to blood loss to body limb loss. You know, I used to get scared as a kid. And that's why I love those movies, because it's so hard now to scare me like that. Movies now, you're anticipating it. You're seeing it coming. Then he was outside the freaking door, but he didn't come in. He was at the window. You know he was there. You could hear some shit going on. Didn't come in. He built anticipation for the scare. Now they try to rush the scare. I don't even want to get into them now. But the first seven, in their originality, and now I'm jumping back and forth on topics. I am going to go back to Amendment 3 again. I do want to talk about a few things, but since everybody's here this evening, Friday the 13th, I was talking about my favorite Friday the 13th movies really quickly. I would say When He Goes to Space, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that one. And Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees together. I don't know. I really feel they could have done more with that. Anyways, moving on. So, upcoming events. I see that. I don't know if anybody knows now, if you're here in Florida, Jacksonville Dab Day, Halloween edition. I know there is going to be some crazy, amazing shit going on. I can't say now, even though I want to. I want to tell you now what's going to happen, but I can't. I'm so excited about it, but I can't. But you're going to have to check it out. Also, there's a really cool concert on the 20th in Miami. There's a lot of different things happening all over the state of Florida. I know we have some other Canna-fests and events coming up very soon. I really wish there were more during December, during cool months, so that we can share the Festival of Lights with cannabis celebrations, because it's great to get high and look at Christmas lights. We should start our own holiday. Ooh, that's getting exciting. But it's so hard to get. It's not. You can register a holiday for like no money. It costs like almost nothing. It tastes funny. Maybe it's too sweet. I don't know. So in that, no, we should create a holiday for stoners, not stoners, cannabis users, people who like to smoke, people who like to look at the lights and eat edibles. And they should all go together and sing Christmas carols that are slightly askew and more cannabis inspired. Ooh, very exciting. I may have to explore my ideas on the recreation of winter holidays. So, anyways, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. I was talking about Amendment 3. Amendment 3 is a bill that they're trying to change the Constitution here in Florida. Every 7 years, you can put an amendment in to change the Constitution. Amendment 3 would do that, and it would add recreational to the already medicinal bill. Quickly, I must mention that it has to pass by a 60% majority. That's a lot. That's a lot for the bill to have to pass here in the state of Florida, and that's by the rules of an amendment to the Constitution, which again can be made every 7 years. So that's what's coming up for the vote very soon. People are getting very excited. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of questions. So here's the quick answers. There's no home grow, no home cultivation. For me, this limits freedom. For me, this limits, oh, you'll see me in Jacksonville. You better believe it. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. Terps Basil, hey! How are you? How are you? So Jacksonville is going to be amazing. We are going to keep your eyes on Insta, by the way, for any events and things that we're going to have going on. Just wanted to mention that really quickly. Keep your eyes for the events. We have a lot coming to you, a lot happening. So super, super, super excited. Okay, so we were talking about the amendment to the bill. You get the opportunity every 7 years. In this amendment, it is written in for corporate interests to be protected under this new bill. I find that a wee bit shady. No home cultivation. I go back to that. And I say that limits our freedoms. I just want you to hear me out on this. When you're where did I put my thingamabobby? It was so hot. Oh, there it is. So when you offer people the ability to cultivate cannabis at home, what you are actually doing is giving them the opportunity to go out and buy gardening materials, to go out and buy hydroponic materials. They're going to go out and buy soil and a hoe and the buckets and whatever it's going to require for them to start growing cannabis at home. They're going to start growing cannabis at home, and a lot of people are going to try and fail because it doesn't grow like a weed. It requires love and attention and care and airflow and temperature control and checking that the roots don't rot or you don't get aphids, or you don't want to use any chemicals or fertilizers or anything that's going to maximize growth. You want it to be able to natural. But the problem is you might be growing it under the stairs, and then there's mold, and then there's other influences, and wow, it's not easy to grow weed. But thousands and thousands of people are going to try. And that boosts the economy. Home grow boosts the economy. A lot of people are going to try to grow weed and they're just not going to be able to do it. So do you know what that means? They're going to go back and buy more weed. They're going to be like, okay, I tried to grow weed. I tried to do it and I'm not very good at it. So guess what? I'm not going to try. All these growing materials I'm going to keep and let rot, or I'm going to use them for something else and try tomatoes and strawberries. But that's the truth of it. A lot of people are going to try and they just can't do it. And they're going to buy lighting setups and lighting kits. And a lot of people tell me, Oren, are you sure? I'm like, I'm positive that's how it works. It worked like that for me. when I had the opportunity to grow, I went in and I spent all this money. And that's how I learned to grow, by failing. You learn by failing. So those that fail and continue to fail and learn from the failure and grow from that and stick with it become pretty decent at their craft. Those that try and be like, I tried it. It was something. I gave up on it. And and that's okay. Go to the dispensary. Go to the bougie market, I would love cannabis to be sold at the farmer's market. Oh, oh, right from farm to table. That's what I'm talking about. And you get that here in the Florida market, farm to table. It really is. There's not a lot of providers here in Florida that offer organic cannabis. That's a shame. Only few do it. Um, I want to say I know Goldflower offers strains that are organic. I know Jungle Boys says they do as well, and same with Flowery. But beyond that, maybe Cookies offers an organic brand, um, and that's why I want to put that out there as well, because they might as well. And that's one of the greatest things. You have other brands out there offering organic. Um, and so I'll have to look into that as well. That's usually a fantastic. Thank you so much, by the way, and thank you for being here, Stoner Bro. You know, if you can eat it, you can smoke it, and that's a big deal. If you can eat it, you can smoke it, you can make tea from it. That's what changes your cannabis. There's some great providers here in Florida. You just have to look for them. It's about quality, and that's really where it comes down to. Bottom line, quality. So I enjoy things with a golden touch. just saying. And again, leave comments, everybody. Leave comments. The giveaway tonight, Hamilton Starship. Super excited. Um, okay, so I see this down here. Living soil. When you're dealing with sterile soil, what do you think that's doing to your plants? It's doing nothing good to your plants. Nothing good at all. Living soil, bringing the proper nutrients, the proper vibes and frequency to your plant so that it can talk with the soil. It can talk with the nutrients as they're being absorbed into the plant. Living soil is everything. Organic, living soil. And then, of course, my other big thing is hand trimming. Hand trimming your cannabis. The reason I like hand trim, because it tells me you didn't put it through a roller. If you look at most of the weed out there from the big corporation weed suppliers, your bud looks almost uniform. Like they all look the same, don't they? Like all the kind, like when you pour the buds out, they always look the same because they've been put through a roller. And the roller is an automatic trimmer. And they're also hitting your cannabis with ultraviolet lighting, which kills the mold, kills bacteria, kills the flavor, kills the taste, kills your weed. Makes me sick. But hand trim, it hasn't been put through such a beating and such terrible, rolling and cutting and light pressurage. Instead, it's been handled like a baby. It's been trimmed. It's been you know, gently played with and tossed in the air. Oh, look at that, a little sugar leaf. And sometimes they'll leave a little sugar leaf or two. So when they put it in the bag, it doesn't damage the bud and it doesn't knock off all those beautiful trichomes. That's my little, hey, guess what? Sometimes they do that. There's a reason. So when you get the bud and you see a little sugar leaf or two on one side or another side, that's because when it's in the bag, it won't get, like, as it jolts around, those sugar leaves are protecting the bud. So sometimes they'll leave a couple here and there. That's what's pretty awesome. And sometimes people don't know. I've seen people complain about it. Look at this. You see the atrocity here. The atrocity. It's a little itsy bitsy tiny leaf. You see that? You see that right there? Get rid of it quickly. when I'm in more of an acting mood, I can tell I've definitely been smoking a very creative, euphoric sativa. Got no problem with that whatsoever. Absolutely delicious. So, I was talking about a few different things, and thank you for joining me again on the Friday the 13th, highly motivated Friday night smoke session edition, or Friday the 13th edition smoke session. Um, and this is a very hot shirt. These jerseys are just like, very warm. And I found this by accident on my journeys to resale shops because I love to look for interesting clothing, shoes. I've gotten into shoes. I don't know what the hell my problem is all of a sudden with shoes. And then I get great shoes and I don't want to wear them immediately. I have to see them clean for a while. They're sitting there like, well, when are you going to wear the shoes? And you know, I don't know. Spooky stories. Oh my God, the only spooky stories I know are when I'm picking up weed. Like when I'm, or when I go off to camp. Like one time, I don't want to be like one time at band camp, but every time I was sent off to camp, it was like a scare the shit out of Orin event. And then I had to like stay with people that were like more scared than me. I remember once with my buddy Brian in the hills in I want to say it was like San Antonio. We're in the hill country, and we were staying with him. I swear to God, there was like a Bigfoot. It was running around in the brush outside, and I know it's funny. It's really funny. It's really funny because it scared me for years. I wouldn't go back and visit out there. He was like, "Come on, come back out to the ranch." I'm like, "Go to hell. I'm not going back out there ever." I remember we heard it and I wouldn't move. I'm like, "What is that?" He goes, "Oh, it could be Bigfoot." I'm like, "It could be Bigfoot? Like there's something else enormous running around in the woods that could be something else other than Bigfoot? Like what else could it be?" Sasquatch. Thank you. So if it's not Bigfoot, it's Sasquatch. You are a great friend. So I went to hide in his room and we went to get high and I did not leave that room. But back then we were smoking weed that made me so paranoid that it could have been anything going on. I know I could have heard anything. And back then the weed was very strong. At least I remember it being very strong for me. So yeah, scary story. There you go. I remember that. And Brian was a great guy. Great guy. Played guitar like a magical maestro, and that was his beautiful vibe and skill to the world. Mm. The negative side, he drank like a fish, and until his body gave up on him. And I wish, and that's a funny thing. Some people who are really big, if they're alcoholics or they're really big drinkers, they don't like cannabis. They're not into cannabis. The flavors don't appeal to them. The high doesn't appeal to them necessarily. Now there's people who use both. I mean, I I like to have a mojito. I like to have a pina colada. I like to have a Japanese Bloody Mary, which is made with Haku vodka. So Japanese Haku vodka, which is just the most fucking delicious vodka fucking anywhere. Shh. Don't tell too many people because that shit will get popular. I'm serious. It's probably already popular. But no, 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 no. This is our secret. If you're still watching the show, an hour and a half in, our little secret right now, Haku, Florida. It's. I mean, I'm not a big drinker. I don't like to drink. I don't like alcohol, but I like fine things, like a mojito done with Cuban limes. These little itsy bitsy limes that are these tiny, tiny, tiny round, not the big round limes, but the tiny, tiny ones. Oh, they're amazing. They're beautiful. And the guy taught me how to make this beauty. So white rum, and this is the best mojito you'll ever have in your life. So white rum, and you get a glass of ice, and no, no, no. And look, when I talk about drinking alcohol, I make mead. Mead is wine made from honey, nectar of the gods, absolute delicious. So, and it's about flavor. And it's about what it also does for your body. Remember, the fermentation process, honey is still coming in with amazing nutrients, amazing healing properties, and it's an incredibly fantastic tasting alcohol. Actually, last night I was drinking some Dragon's Heart mead. Just, oh, so good. Oh, enjoyed it so much. I wanted to have another bottle, but I only bought one bottle like that. So I'm like, let me test it. That's what I get. So anyways, the mojito, a tall glass of ice, if you're only making one. And then these small Cuban or Colombian limes, very, very tiny. A hint of sweetness to them, but they're so tiny, they're so small, so beautifully pure. So he takes these. I remember, I want to say, Raul. Okay, I need to channel Raul for this drink. So Raul, okay, you would take the limes, okay? Fantastic. You have the glass of ice, but he puts in a bowl. Excellent. Plenty of ice. Takes these limes, they are clean. He does a quick, he wants to leave some of the green on there, but he's going to clean it off very nice. He cuts them in half and he squeezes it, everything he's got. There's no seeds. So these little itsy bitsy limes have no seeds. So he squeezes it. He goes, look, you see what I'm doing to this right here? He's fantastic. Squeezes the limes and throws them right into the ice. Okay, I see what you're doing. He goes, shh. This is Raul. So, sorry, when you remember people, it's fantastic energy. That's what helps create life. That's what life is about. So he squeezes it and he goes, we need more. So he grabs the limes and he cuts them in half and he cleans them up and he squeezes them into the ice and he throws that in the ice. Goes, wait, we're not done. Sugar, lots of sugar, more sugar. Boom. He looks at it. He goes over, he picks the most beautiful of white rum, comes back over and he goes, don't put nothing with the coconut. Don't be like this. Grabs a clean rum and he pours it in. He holds it up and I'm like, I don't know why it's such a show. What is going on? We're thirsty. He's like, shh, don't rush. Don't rush it. Shh. And I'm sure my accent is a combination of different accents, but whatever, who gives a shit? So he pours it in. Stops. Looks at it, goes, it's good. Puts the bottle to the side and he mixes it with a big spoon and he looks at you. He looks at you in the eyes and he's like, you see what I'm doing here? I'm making the most amazing mojito. It's beautiful. Then he throws some lime. Beautiful, not lime, like mojito mint, like I'm an idiot. So he puts in some mint and he puts in big fresh chunks of mint and he breaks it up and puts it in, mixes it in quickly. He goes, okay, drink. Okay. Brings it over, pours it out into the cup. Now he's strained it out. He's taken out the big pieces. And here you have a cup full of pieces of mint and ice and vodka and lime. Delicious. Amazing. I've never been able to replicate it the way he does it because the way he did it was slightly sweet. It was an adventure in a mojito. It's not about the alcohol. That only accents it just enough to bring up the mood to be happy. But the after effects of alcohol suck. They're not happy necessarily. I smoke a joint or two, I'm happy, but I enjoy the flavor of a good mojito. Like I enjoy the good flavor of a cold sake. Oh, that's delicious. A beautiful cold sake. And that's where it's not about the alcohol necessarily. It's about flavor and where it's enhancing the food or the journey and adventure of where you are, what you're doing at the time. Like I was talking earlier, the Japanese Bloody Mary. I have found this vodka, and I'm not going to tell you where I found it though. So this was at least I have some anonymity to the origins now of the Japanese Bloody Mary. And it is one of the most delicious Bloody Marys I've ever had. Now, younger me drank, not excessively, but I learned to hold my liquor quite well. And it was disgusting and terrible what it did to my body and what it did to my mind and how I felt afterwards all the time. And I'm so glad that I've shed that part of my body and my life where I don't drink like that anymore. And instead, it's more of a holistic journey into creating a high perception of life, a highly enthusiastic, a highly positive, a highly motivated direction in life. cannabis helps tremendously. I mean, tremendously, really does. Okay, so we've been talking for a while, and I thank you all for joining me tonight. Again, please leave comments so that you can win the Hamilton Starship. This is a great device. You can put an indica, a sativa, a hybrid, and you can combine the different flavors and different effects of each one of your rosin carts. I like only rosin. So each one of your rosin carts, you can combine those effects to better suit your body, your mind, your flow of how you like to smoke. For example, I love to mix roll-ups and what was it? It was platinum animal cookies. So roll-ups is a sativa, platinum animal cookies is an indica. But the way those two flavors came together, wow, amazing. And you're wondering, how do I smoke that? Well, I'll use two of these, and and that way I can taste two different strains and see how well they're going to work together. And if they work great together, I'm going to buy myself my own device, and you'll see me walking around with this big giant Starship. Just, what is that? What is it? What is it? What do you think it is? Medicating. So thank you again for joining me tonight on Highly Motivated, our Friday smoke sesh. I am honored to have everybody here. It was so much fun to talk about Jason, and actually, I'll be honest, I've got to try it this way again. It was so much fun this way. Oh, wait, it was already on? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing then. I'm just pressing buttons now. I would even, maybe I think after the show, I'm gonna even try relighting one of those little joints or something, just to make sure I smoke it all the way. I don't want to just leave it there. God forbid I waste something. I have a, oh, there we go. Got that going once again. Ooh. Now it's still Friday the 13th. That means anything can still happen. And it's through positive manifestation that it does happen. It's through how you create the energy that you send out there. See, it's not about furthering the stigma of a particular day. It's kind of like furthering the stigma of cannabis. So Friday the 13th, shit happens just like it does on any other day. Like when I was researching this, it says, well, there was bombings that happened in England on the 13th, Friday the 13th. And of course, there was natural disasters, a cyclone, one cyclone. Yes, it was one cyclone. And a tornado, I believe, happened one day on a Friday the 13th, yes. A building fell down on Friday the 13th. Yes, of course. There was let me see. I'm just looking at some of my notes here. The mystery, the energy. Yeah. Cyclones, bombings, murders. Oh, so the energy that was manifested because of Friday the 13th, there were murders that happened on Friday the 13th. That means somebody thought they were going to be unlucky, or somebody thought it was just an unlucky day. And they carried that mentality of an unlucky day with them. Maybe they thought somebody was making it unlucky for them. Like, this person makes my day unlucky. So they're and they're adding to the unluckiness of my unlucky day. So they carry that direction or that energy with them. And when they do carry that, hey Blaine, how are you doing? Good to see you. Long time. You've stumbled onto my Friday night smoke sesh. So welcome to Highly Motivated, sir. So it's the energy that they carry with them. And they created that day, so they murdered somebody. I mean, that's the weirdness of how Friday the 13th can actually be. That's the weirdness of how it comes across. But if we don't create that energy for this day, if we don't carry it like that, we don't make it and manifest it like that, but instead see the positivity in it, see the good luck in it. For example, say for example, somebody born on an auspicious day. like maybe say like 666. We'll turn it upside down. It's 999. Very, very lucky. Just throwing that out there. And then also 666 in other cultures, very lucky. Again, it's how you perceive it. And how you perceive it is how you carry it into existence, into creation, into reality. We carry our thoughts become reality. And that's a big one. Actually, I'm so glad we stumbled upon this topic. Let me quickly talk about it. Your thoughts become matter. Your thoughts become reality. You manifest what you think. So they say, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you want, because you are creating it and you are manifesting it. So it's about energy. It's about frequency. It's about mindset. And it's about how you see something ahead of you. We think it can become. We want it bad enough. We create it, but we can create the good and we can create the bad. And everyone, excuse me, sorry, Dr. Pepper, terrible things it does to me. We create and manifest true, authentic goodness. It comes back to us. We carry stress and worry and trouble and strife, and we carry that manifests around us and comes back to us. So you change the way you see the world around you so that you may push out a better frequency, a better vibe. That's how we change the world around us. That's how we change an environment. We come into an environment that the energy is low or the vibe is bad. You are there as an ambassador of enthusiasm of life to change that vibe. Not by jumping out there like a fucking clown with balloons on or anything. No. Through kindness. 10% more kindness. That's it. Just understand that the struggle in people's life is real. That to live in one's shoes or walk a mile in one's shoes could be so painful and so difficult. So understand that we are all going through something in some way. And we need to be looked at in the eyes. We have to be spoken to authentically, not the false person you're trying to be, but the real you. Not the, wow. No, but it was a day. And it was a day that it happened. And my condolences for that day, but 14 years ago. 14 years ago, though. If it was a Friday the 13th, 13 years ago, then I'd be like, holy shit now. Holy shit. No, no, that's, I'm, no, seriously, my complete and absolute condolences. I no jokes at all, about that. But yeah, Friday the 13th, that's, wow, that's serious. And that does stick with you, obviously. And especially with any assumptions of the day that I might make or how I might shape the energy of something. That's still a very serious thing, no matter how you see it. And it hurts in so many different ways. So my heart goes out to you. That being said, it's a Friday the 13th, my mom, today was her birthday. She passed away. Friday the 13th would have been her birthday today. My birthday this year is going to be a Friday the 13th. It's a very strange year. I believe in signs. I believe in, you see threes of something. There's a reason you see it. You see it and you feel it. Like you'll see some shit and you just don't, you're like, that could be like, I could put one and one together and like, okay, that could be like a sign. But it's not. You feel it. You know it. You're like, oh, fuck, that's a sign. Holy shit. Yeah. And then you see it again. You're like, oh, God, okay, really? Signs everywhere here. And that's three. Oh, that's everything, by the way. Yes. And when you find the magic of 3, 6, and 9, um, holy shit. And that's you see it in pattern and in combination. I was born, I think, at 11/11, like at 11/11, on Friday the 13th. So I was born on Friday the 13th. I know, but it's a day. It's a day. But is it a day? Is it a day? Because here, let's get deep. Okay, okay, okay. Let's get deep, deep. You ready? We all manifest our reality around us together. Like we are creating the world we see as we live it. We share the reality as we see it, almost like we're a giant computer, a giant mainframe, but working with individual nodes. And those individual nodes are processing the world around them. I'm so fucking high. I just forgot where I was going with that. Holy shit. Wait, I'm gonna have to come back to that because that was some serious shit. We are processing the world around us. And in that processing of the world, we're creating it. Okay. Whew, wow. The Big Bang, we are the Big Bang. We created the Big Bang. We created the manifestation of matter in the world by putting our energy, because energy is timeless. It cannot be created nor can it be destroyed. So within that theory, we are energy. We are the vibe and frequency of that. So we were here before time. So we are time. We are the combination of thought and energy and creation. And this three-dimensional, four-dimensional, 11-dimensional realm that we live in, it's multidimensional beyond that, but whatever. Um, we are manifesting and creating as we go. So Friday the 13th is now a continued manifestation and creation of its mystified origins. But everything runs on 12. 12 seasons, 12 cycles, 12 signs. The Sagittarius, the 13th sign. That's me. I'm the fucking 13th sign. I forget, I never remember how you can call it, but I was a Sagittarius. See, this is some deep shit. Arachno, I don't know what I'm called. But I'm the 13th sign. So being the 13th sign, I'm no longer a Sagittarius, but I am now the next Sagittarius. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. It'll pop to me later. But within that, everything goes by 12s. The clock has 12 hands. You know, our time structure, our date structure, our you name it, it's 12. So 13, where did that start being the unlucky number? Many floors and buildings do not have a 13th floor. It's completely removed. No, they just didn't name it. Like, no, it was there, but they took it out. Like, is this the 13th? Is this number 13? It is. Oh, shit. Take it out. No, take it out. Take it out. Remove the floor. Just right out. It'd be difficult, sir. I don't care. Difficult. It's 13. Remove it. No, I don't know where that came from. I'm sure it'd just be easier to renumber the floors, but I'm sure nobody actually said that. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I do care that I'm going to try to get this thing hooked back on. Okay. Oh, it is still working. Good. Sometimes like the battery just gives up or something. Just smells good. Just smells like some just beautiful rosity weed in here. I'm like, wow. Oh. I didn't know my lungs still work like that. It's good to exercise the lungs. You want to breathe in, you want to breathe out. So again, thank you for joining me on tonight's I'm Very High smoke session. Highly motivated. Friday the 13th. What we create, what we manifest, that is the world around us. You have so much control. You have so much power. I think that is the moral of the story this evening is you are the power you seek. You are the energy you seek. You are the mystery and adventure that you seek. If it's numbers that you're into, numbers are interesting, signs are interesting, our things that are pre-written about us are so interesting. The numbers of what controls the confines of life. It's all about numbers. And when you see how they're all related, it's a little shocking sometimes. When you put one and one together, get it? One and one, or two and two. Numbers. What does five and five make? Got a young child. Really high. That's what five and five makes. It makes really high. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being what makes highly motivated everything. It's here for you. It's here for me. It's here for the community. And tonight, we're giving away a Zichamertim Starship. Okay, I've spoken about it a lot. Leave your comments. At the end of the show, I'm going to take all the names. Excuse me once again. Oh, I'm terrible. At the end of the show, I'm going to take all the names and we're going to put them into the algorithm of AI. AI is choosing the winner. I'm just letting you know. So I'm putting all the names into AI. The same AI that I talk to and educate. Where's my... Okay, got it. The same AI that I talk to and educate about cannabis, which is also a really funny story that I told kind of last week or earlier this week. I think I was talking about my interactions with artificial intelligence and cannabis. So maybe catch one of those earlier episodes and you'll see the interesting conversation that I had with my AI, where it originally did not approve of cannabis. But later, after like 6 months of speaking to it and teaching and having it understand a different point of view from a medical aspect, I taught it like I would teach a patient. I taught my AI like I would discuss with one of my doctors or with the medical assistants or the bud tenders. So that's how I spoke to AI, and it learned about cannabis differently. I find that pretty cool. So now it likes to learn about it, like where it'll update its database. It'll be like, these, and it will it fact checks. It's all about checking me, and I'm at 95% on certain things accuracy wise. And I feel pretty good about that because we're still learning a lot about cannabis. I never purport that I know everything. I never say I know everything. I'm still learning as well, but I know a lot. I know a lot because of not only being a lifelong advocate and user of cannabis, but also, you know, I've I, I started with cannabis in the wrong directions of not learning about THC or the terpenes or the flavonoids or flavonoids, tomato, potato, however you want to call it. But I started just by growing and understanding the plant and loving the plant. And in that understanding of the plant, I think that's what shaped my understanding of cannabis. I didn't understand healing. I just understood you smoke it, you get high, you feel good. And you feel good. That's healing. In a world where so much shit makes us feel bad, be simple. Simplify it. I can meditate without a joint. I can meditate and get to a place of Zen eventually, maybe, or I can smoke a joint and cut through all the bullshit. I can smoke a lot of joints and write some lovely poetry. I can smoke a lot of joints and write a song. I can smoke a lot of joints and plan an insane adventure. And then take everybody on that adventure. Some happy, not happy, when you have a lot of kids. That's what happens. It's hard to please everybody. You just throw them all into a car, you shake it up, and you really hope they all roll out happy. That's how my driving is. Mm. That is so delicious. I love these papers because they preserve the joint. Even when it goes out, it's sitting to the side. They preserve it. These are the vegetable wraps. I don't even know. Oh, here they are. They're called. Here we go. Here we go. And they are. I'm going to show you this really cool paper. I'm going to show this to you. This is magic. You hear me? Magic. I'm bringing magic to you. If Raul was here. Do you see this? That's the paper. You see that right there? That's the paper. You can see through the paper. I mean, obviously, I'm showing you the joint and you can see through the paper. But there are some rice papers and whatnot that are very, very thin. And you can see through those pretty closely as well. But this is made with a vegetable, an organic vegetable concoction. And it's a paper. Now, this is a pretty big paper. And I do roll some pretty big doinkadoinks with this. But that's nakedpapers.com. If you're looking to get a hold of any of these, I find them to be super flipping fantastic. Hello there. Thank you for joining. And thank you again, everybody who's stuck through my 2 hours of rambling, because that's what it's been. It's been 2 hours of me rambling about some shit. Friday the 13th, Amendment 3. I don't want to hold back progress, accessibility, but I want more. I don't want to hold back jobs. I mean, we go recreational. We're opening up a lot of jobs. We're opening up a lot more opportunity. And well, thank you very much. And it was a pleasure to meet you as well. And see, this is what's awesome. Thank you again for coming to watch this crazy show. And that's what it is. Anyways, I just want more. I want more from the bills that are coming to us. And that's all I ask. I ask for fairness. Give us the opportunity to grow. If nothing else, not everybody's going to grow. Not everybody is going to grow. And those that try might fail. And you might have a small handful of people that succeed at growing their own cannabis. A handful out of the majority of people that'll then go back to the dispensary after supporting their horticulture or nurseries. They're going to be supporting their nurseries by buying shit and failing. They're going to be supporting their communities by purchasing and spending money in the community and failing at growing weed and then going back to the dispensary. By giving a little bit, you get a lot. So if home grow was even an option, then it would make the bill make sense. But without it, you strip freedom. And when you strip freedom, it's the number one thing. And then we you know, I mentioned it earlier, getting into, you know, the no criminal justice reform. So past offenses and past convictions because of cannabis are still in effect and still being prosecuted and still destroying and ruining families and people's lives. It's a lot of things. So just looking for fairness, but I'm also looking for progress. You see why I'm on the fence? Do you see why it's so difficult for me to be like, yes or no? Yes or no? Why does it have to be so simple? Why is it not just so simple? Because I'm looking at jobs, I'm looking at people, I'm looking at livelihoods, I'm looking at the future of the plant that I've been pushing my entire life. So within all of those things that I just mentioned, that's why I believe in this plant. I believe in people, and I believe in more access by giving recreational a chance. you are opening up medical even more by using it as an opportunity to bring new patients in the medical because of the cost savings of the taxes, because of the better quality of the better weed, of the better testing. And if you run out of rec in your medical side of things, then go buy a little bit on the recreational side. Who gives a shit? See? Make life easy and simple. You're still going to be doing medical. Doctors are worried because it's going to take away new patients. It took years for them to even realize that we still do medical cannabis. Right now, there's a ton of people in Florida that don't know that you can do cannabis. They don't know. So by the time it's out there, a lot of people are not going to know you can do recreational or just not give a shit and still keep buying it the way they buy it. So I say, give everything its chance. It's due. Mm. So we can't grow at home. I can give that up. But I would really love for social justice to happen. I would like for social reform to happen. That would be nice. Keep the home grow, but let people out of jail that just convicted shit on just cannabis. If it's other things like they killed somebody, no, leave them in fucking jail. It's like, oh, you were selling weed. We're gonna let you out. Yeah, I get to leave. Wait. Oh, you killed somebody. No. You stay. Let the weed charge go, but you killed somebody, so you're gonna stay for that shit. I mean, fair. Fair is fair. To be fair. To be fair. Now I'm gonna have to go watch some Letterkenny. Mm. Oh, this has been a really delicious joint. I don't want to put it down. This is Mountain Hood Magic from Goldflower. 30% on the THC, which I'm not a big THCer. If this was in the 20s, I'd be fine. But the terpene profile on this one is the highest I've ever smoked with the Mountain Hood Magic. It's like 3.2%. Wow. Because it's been so aromatic and so flavorful. It's got that beautiful combination. I mean, I've smoked things with even higher terpene profiles, and that is wild on its own. I mean, one evening we'll have to have a discussion just about terpenes and about flavor and how that changes and affects our body. Mm. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining me on this Friday the 13th, this auspicious evening that we create to be more powerful and we create to be more than maybe what it is. And sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It's a mysterious evening. I'm not going to say Friday the 13th doesn't have a vibe behind it. I mean, I walk the land at night, but tonight I'm not, because it's Friday the 13th. I don't know. I'm just not going to walk this shit tonight. It's scary out there tonight. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Have great energy coming at you. If you're going to be buying weed, remember you can get it from Goldflower. You can get it delivered, free, same day delivery. You heard me. Delivery, free delivery. And if you order early enough, you get it free same day. That's amazing. That takes stress right out of your hands and brings really good shit to you. So, anyways, have a great night. Be everything and be everyone. Create.